Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another episode of Just Some Perspective podcast. Hope you guys like the music. I'm going to start incorporating some tunes to this pod. It's Sunday, January 19th. Very happy Sunday to you all. And I'm going to call this Spitball Sunday. And we're going to spitball here a little bit, which is an American term for you non-Americans. And that means talking about anything and everything, essentially, top of my head. But anything exciting happened recently? A certain social media app getting banned by the government and then subsequently unbanned. There's a meme that essentially describes the feeling that most users of this app called TikTok was feeling the second they got the notification that they cannot use the app for the set time.
Emotional, damn it!
But now, guess what? They can be happy because many users were moving over to another app called Red Note, which I don't know anything about other than it's like created by China, right? China. And the U.S. government, and we got an inauguration day tomorrow. We got number 45 is back. It's 47, and that's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting time here in the American public, and so he decided to unban TikTok, right? And the administration. And I'm not a TikTok user, okay? Number one, I've never downloaded TikTok, and the only reason I would download it is for the purposes of promotion for this podcast or something. And so the reason I'm not going to download it for my personal use is very simple. My time would be absolutely screwed. Yeah. My time flies already, okay? And when you're a busy adult in your 30s, okay, you got work, you got home, you got dog, you got family, you got side projects, whatever, a lot of things going on, exercise. You just can't spend too much time scrolling on social media. And I already do that on Instagram or X/Twitter. Okay, so I'm really screwed if I download TikTok, okay? And I'll be honest, you kids out there, you youngins, younger generation, you can call me old if you want to, but I'm a little bit more old school, and I'm going to leave that for you guys. All right, you guys have your TikTok. We already have Instagram Reels, we already have YouTube Shorts, and you can even do that on Amazon now, by the way. You can see people use products in a similar fashion like you would see TikTok stories or whatever. So congrats to people who were crying for a second about losing their TikTok. It's now back. So you can stay calm and relax. And here's another meme that'll describe your feeling now. Mr. Chill Guy. Can be a little chill. So that was fun. So that's today, just a couple of things, not going to take up too much time. Speaking of TikTok, did you guys know that millennials, aka my generation, aka anyone born between 1984 and 1995, 96, and hashtag 1989 over here, looking at you, Taylor Swift, we are the last generation to know life before social media, people. Did y'all know that? After us, including my own family members who were born, and my own brother who was born after 2000, whole new generation, never knew a life before social media, before technology, before iPad, iPhone, and whatever, most relevant technology today, okay? My generation is the last one, right? So this is a new time in the society, in the world, and all future generations will never know. Will never know that we would go out we would leave the home riding bikes for hours and we would come back before the sunset or by sunset. Parents have no clue where the hell we were. Okay, they have no idea. There's no phones. There's no way to track us. No, nothing. It's just like, okay, be back by dinner. Okay. Oh crap! I'm playing basketball. I gotta go back. Or I'm out bike riding. I gotta go back. Right. So, but yeah, I liked bike riding when I was younger, and I played basketball and football with the neighborhood kids. You know, we all just played out there. Nothing else to do at the time. But yeah, absolutely zero cellular mobile devices back then. Before at least teenage years, I would say. Before the mid 2000s, right? So yeah, I don't think younger generation can relate to that because you've pretty much always had a device, a phone or something. And I mean, my future children are gonna have some kind of a device, right? I mean, when they get old enough, and that's a future episode about the pros and cons of technology exposure to like toddlers and below or something. So there's a lot of controversy around that, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, Gen Z, you guys will never understand, okay? Life before social media. That being said, don't let that stop you from turning off social media and like carrying on with your life and just experiencing life, right? Put it to you this way, right? What if you didn't have no phone? Okay, what if you're probably young adults by now, right? And if you're friends or family of mine, you are young adults by now. So you just finished your school, you're going into job, right? You have your phone on you all the time. What happens if you don't have your phone? What are you going to do? Do you know? Are you able to get from point A to point B without that device? Can you use a real map? Back in the day, we had this thing called MapQuest where you'd have to print it out on a paper and your directions and then follow that. Oh my God. Ancient. So yeah, that's if you did not have your phone at all, and definitely not a smartphone, right? And you still have to go to school, you still have to go to work, whatever. That's how we grew up for the most part. Now, cell phones became more popular in high school, for sure. Most people had cell phones at the time. I got mine a little bit later, but I still got it. It's okay. I got the cool Motorola Razr, which was fun. That was like the most popular cell phone for a few years back in the 2000s, man. It's a retro thing now. It's really cool. So, but yeah, I'm not planning to give my future child, no device for a long time. I mean, many years, okay? I'm sorry, but as the parent, that's your job to determine how what your children gets or doesn't get, and it should be for their benefit, right? Especially in the long term. We'll talk about that more later. There's short term, there's long term, right? You have to look at the big picture, okay? Kids are going to cry, kids are going to scream and yell or whatever, but you just have to figure out how to deal with that, okay? I know it's easy to give them the device. Here you go, son. Here you go, daughter. And they'll just be glued. But is it really worth the long-term damage you might do to their brain, to their not developed brain, by giving them some anxiety-creating, dopamine-creating, screen? So anyway, we'll talk about that more later. Today we have NFC. We had some NFL playoffs today, and wow, congratulations, Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not a fan of y'all. It's technically a rival to my Dallas Cowboys, which I can't stand anymore. But yeah, hella good win. And it was snowing. It was full-on snow in Philadelphia tonight, okay? Full-on snow, and it was beautiful to watch as a spectator. I sure as hell don't want to be there. And I don't know if you guys ever played in the snow or walked out in the snow. Imagine running in the snow, and not just that, like running at full speed with people trying to knock you down and tackle you and what have you, bring you down, and then making crazy movements, right? Lateral movements left or right in order to, and not slipping and trying to get open for pass or whatever, right? So that's pretty impressive, to be honest. And shout out to LA Rams. They had a great season, but unfortunately came to a close today. But now I'm one of the rare ones that I don't really have a rooting interest no more in football. I do in basketball. The Go Mavericks for sure. And then outside of Mavericks, I like the Lakers because of my boy LeBron, who I think he's the GOAT. But in football, I don't have no rooting interest, okay? Why? I'm a Dallas Cowboys... I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for a long time. Since I was high school or middle school, whatever, as long as I can remember. Since Tony Romo took over, right? I don't even remember before Tony Romo became quarterback. I do not remember before then. And they're a fun team. They're exciting. They're always there. They always draw crowds, you know. They always draw audience and number one franchise and whatever. Always get big name players, yada yada yada. But man, I'm just really tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of them. If they have a great season, that they win 12 games out of 16, and now it's more. And they're number one and all that. And then all that work and effort and months of training and years of preparation only to absolutely blow it in the playoffs and like get their ass kicked, nonetheless. That's happened so many times. I basically expect them to just fold every time now. Okay? So I just don't care. And guess what? You can't be upset if you don't care. If you don't care who wins, how can you be upset at the outcome? You can't. In the Super Bowl, most people don't are not like fans of the teams mostly because it's only 2 out of 30, right? So not everyone's going to be a fan of the team, but maybe you pick a team that you want to root for. Sure, there's obviously going to be a winner and a loser, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be Kansas City Chiefs again. I hope not. Now, I don't want to get into that. There's a lot of craziness going on with them and how their referees are going on, but I digress. This is not really a sports podcast, though I have a big sports background, hence the sports attire tonight. So, yeah, memes are the new thing, new communication. I'll give you all this, Gen Z. I'm going to give you guys a shout out because you guys are so unserious, and you got that from us, millennials, okay? Because, I mean, from a young age, we experienced 9/11, okay? We experienced the financial crisis, okay, of 2008. We experienced, like, freaking, what happened? Obviously, COVID, that happened more recently, but anthrax scares or something, and then there's some kind of a virus, like a malaria or something, and all I remember is people just joking about it. It's like sharing memes about this, potential threat. And so our generation is not serious, and Gen Z is even less so, right? So you see memes at the hurricanes, at gators joking around. So I'll give you all that, Gen Z. That's fun stuff, and we're both kind of unserious, and you just can't take life too seriously, because especially when you see just horrific stuff happen so often, right? So, but yeah, memes, that's my love language. If you send memes, I think you're cool. And if you appreciate my memes, I really think you're cool, right? People who react to memes, especially regularly, are the MVPs. You guys are the real MVPs. That's another first world problem. And it's another 21st century situation thing, but it's kind of silly, like wanting someone else to react to a message or a meme makes you feel better, but it really doesn't make a difference in your day, right? It's just, oh, check that out, this is funny, oh, haha, a laughing emoji, right? If you want to. But I'll be honest, fellas, whoever follows me and whoever DMs me or whoever group chats with me, right? The more you respond or react to memes that I share, the happier I am, right? And I'm a big memes person. And the more memes you share with me, and I respond, the happier I am too. The more I laugh. So, yeah. So, everyone, calm your horses. TikTok is still here, okay? You know why it's called TikTok? Because your time is going to tick, tock, every second you're on there. Right? So there's a lot of benefits to TikTok, right? There's obviously it's a promotional tool. If you want to promote your brand, you want to promote your channel. There's a lot of content creators that went super viral from some video on TikTok that ends up on Instagram or Facebook. So it's a useful tool. The thing is, if you're a busy adult, which I am, you just don't have the luxury of spending hours a day on that thing. You don't. And it's designed to keep you on. All social media platforms are, but for sure TikTok. It's designed to keep you scrolling and scrolling and scrolling because they're just short format videos that are mostly funny, humor, entertainment based, right? So, yeah, I'm not going to get into like breaking down TikTok today, but unfortunately, it just screwed the attention span of your whole generation, okay, Gen Z. And the thing is, there's a lot of research that you guys can do on your own, but I've read about this or I've seen content about this that to an undeveloped mind, which means you're below the age of 24, your prefrontal cortex, prefrontal lobe, whatever, is not even fully formed before your mid-20s, okay? Now, don't quote me on that. It could be earlier, it could be later, right? I'm not trying to be a scientist right now. I'm just saying, roughly, somewhere around your mid-20s, your prefrontal cortex is not fully formed, but it becomes fully formed. And so, what happens? You create an anxiety-driven application to keep you scrolling nonstop, and you lose interest within less than a second of one. Your attention span is gone, my friend. It's over. I mean, what are you going to do when you're bored and at work and your boss is giving you a boring job and you can't even listen to nothing? You just have to sit down and focus on that thing. Or you're in a meeting, which I'm in all the time, and maybe you don't even contributing to the meeting or you don't even know what the topic is, but it's still, you have to kind of pay attention to some degree, and you're part of the project or the job is included in that call and conversation. Like if you can't have attention in that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be really difficult to advance and progress in certain careers and jobs, right? Not everyone has to do that. I'm not saying it's for everyone. Just saying many people who work in like corporate settings or something, it's going to be required of you, right? So that's just a little spitballing of TikTok, okay? So, so today I'm going to give you all some tips on productivity Sundays, especially if you're single, which I am. And so, being single, you have to do everything yourself, okay? Hashtag first world problems. I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for what I have, having my own place, which I can afford, which I can finance, which I live nearby family. I'm very grateful for all that. That being said, I gotta clean it. I gotta do the dishes. I gotta take out the trash. I gotta mop the floors. I gotta do meal prep. So, what is that saying? What I'm saying is, if Sunday is the day before you start work on Monday, and it's like your free day, you pretty much need to utilize your Sunday towards your home and apartment maintenance. Okay? And how is the best way to do that? You got to start early, right? The earlier you start, the better it's going to be. And so now cleanliness is next to godliness, and I'm pretty sure I don't have to reiterate the importance of just maintaining a clean space, but I'm not saying it needs to be like dust free and crystal clear, I'm not saying that, but people who are more organized tend to be more successful in life, right? And that is a outward reflection of you inside, okay? So if your place is clean, you are a more organized person, thus you can accomplish more things, thus it will lead to more success, right? So very important. And I'm going to do a plug real quick. One of my favorite books I've ever read, 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Jordan Peterson. Great book. Highly recommend if you ever get a chance. One of the rules, I don't remember which number, but one of the rules is before you judge others' homes, other rooms, make sure your own home is clean. Clean your own room before you start to comment on the world. Okay? So very highly emphasize maintaining that schedule, right? And maintaining a schedule is very crucial. Okay, everything is time based. That clock is gonna tick. Okay, tick tock, no matter what you do. Okay, when I was younger, don't get me wrong, I love football. Okay, I love basketball. I love sports. I love movies. I love PlayStation 5. I'll watch Netflix. Yeah, I do like doing that. I do love chilling and watching. But that being said, I do not have the luxury of sitting down for an entire 3-hour long football game and not doing nothing else. It's not going to happen. In fact, it's over from now on, essentially, right? Why? That food is not going to cook itself. Those dishes are not going to do themselves, right? For the time being, right? The floor is not going to mop itself. It's just not going to happen. So I'll play a game on my TV, but I'll also be doing stuff at the same time. Okay? That, I say, is a huge productivity hack. Okay? If you love football, if you love sports, hell, even if you want to play a YouTube video or something, and you don't necessarily care about the video itself, but the audio, and you can listen, then play it on your TV or on your device and do your thing. Okay? So, yeah, especially younger generation, the earlier you learn that, the better it is going to be for you, right? Start early. Okay, I'm not saying you have to get up at 6 a.m. No, don't be crazy, right? But start early in your day, and mornings is better. Early afternoons is at the latest. I have to get my trash out. The trash has got to be out. It has to go out anyway. I need to obviously cook or clean or do something like that, right? And some of the dishes I do. Now with the dishes, all I'll say is if you're super busy, like you have multiple projects you're doing, or you're working out a lot, or you don't have much time after a 9 to 5 or something, then I'm not saying you have to do dishes every day. Okay, it's not necessarily 100% priority. You have to, but you could, if you have a dishwasher, you could at least load the dishwasher with plates and utensils, right? Now, from my understanding, plastic containers are not dishwasher safe. So that does require more of hand washing, right? Hand washing takes more time, which means that's an opportunity cost. That's time you could spend doing something else, right? That's what opportunity cost means. So you don't necessarily have to do that every single day, but now, granted, if you don't get it done, will it get done? No. So it needs to get done at some point. So for me, Sundays, besides the dog walking, and I got my workout in, right? And it was cold, by the way. I did a nice, cold workout, and I felt kind of cool. No pun intended. But, I got my workout in, and then I didn't just rest. I'm just like, all right, get workout, get my protein in. I got to eat my meal, so I cooked some eggs. And, loaded the dishwasher, and I have to do some organizing in the kitchen, right? The game starts at 2. I want to get this in here today, right? I talk to my cousin for a while. I'm on the group chats. I'm multitasking. I'm doing a lot, right? But that being said, I don't allow the NFL to dictate my day. Okay? People who are busy, people who are doing a lot of things, can't afford that. You just can't. Another way of putting it, you'll almost never see an advertisement on TV for a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or not Tesla. You'll see those, but high expensive exotic cars, Porsche, right? You won't see those advertisements on TV. Why? Because the people who can afford them are not wasting time watching TV. Okay. So that's why you won't see often, most of the time, no Lamborghinis or Porsche commercials. You might see it here randomly, but Super Bowl maybe, right? Because it's a Super Bowl. But I don't have the luxury of sitting down and watching a whole game from start to finish and just sitting on the couch and doing nothing else. Just that time is over. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing some cleaning. I'm doing some organizing. I'm doing some cooking. And I have to, if I don't utilize that time, it's gonna go anyway, and I can either end my day with those tasks being done or not being done. Right? The choice is yours. And by the way, your priorities determine your time. Okay? Since we're on time. We all have 24 hours a day, okay? I'm recording right now, and I'm gonna go have dinner with my parents after, but I still made time for this, okay? It's a priority, therefore, you're able to dedicate the time towards that, okay? So, yeah, I wanted to talk about that real quick, and, oh yeah, I mean, millennials, you already know this, younger generation, take note, I would play music on your streaming app. Okay, I would play music on your Alexa, on your streaming service. Play music, play whatever upbeat music you want. I was listening to a lot of '90s and hip hop, even 2000s pop music, and I'm gonna be honest, that's my jam. Okay, 2000s pop, back when the boy bands were a thing, and all that stuff. Even I have no shame. 2000s pop, 1990s, 2000s, and that to me that was the last great era. Last great era of music, man. It's just not the same anymore. And my age, we kind of yearn for those days. We yearn for that music. And my favorite reels right now are people who are like, yo, this is the music we jam to. It's the music we clean to, music we cook to, whatever. So that's it. Music was great in my day in the 2000s, man. And I will forever till the end of time will love that music. So okay. All right. So lastly, we don't want to take up too much today. So, all right, I'm going to share some wisdom for you younger generation folks, right? If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing a disservice to everyone. So everything comes down to the next generations, okay? So if you guys want to take note, I highly recommend you do. If you value what I say, right? I'm only going to share what's beneficial for people, because if it's beneficial for me, I would say it's beneficial for others, right? But that being said, you're a fully autonomous person who can choose to think or do whatever you want, obviously, right? Now, younger people, listen up. Everything's going to change, okay? Everything is going to change. Everything you think is going to change. Everything you learn is going to change. Things you experience, how you feel, it's all going to change. I promise you. Because you don't have the benefit of many years of experience of going through many things to understand what it looks like from years in the future. Right? If you're in your young 20s, early 20s, or mid 20s, to me, your life's just beginning. I just had a call with my cousin in the UK today, and shout out to you, Kamran. And he mentioned there's a book, I think Carl Jung, who mentioned 40 is when life actually begins. I'm going to go younger. I'm going to say 30. Okay? Life really begins in your 30s. Okay? Why do I say that? Because what do you do in your 20s? I was 20. Not trying to raise my old guy card, but I was 20 before. I was 25 before. I know. You want to enjoy your life. You want to hang out with your friends. You want to go out. You want to party, probably. You want to play your video games, which I do. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm not putting video games down. But really, most of your time, besides school, besides work, besides family, and hopefully besides fitness, is like enjoying your time to the max. Am I right? For the most part. Now, there's exceptions. I'm looking at you, dedicated people who are out there, building a business, maybe starting an app, maybe being a fitness instructor, whatever, something entrepreneurial. Yeah, you guys are exceptional for sure, and I power to y'all, and I highly recommend anyone to look into that. Now, but yeah, we all think we really have it figured out, man. At 21, I know it. I know exactly what to do. I know what school. I graduated from this university, and I have this many degrees, and that's my worth. I'm telling you, man, and years later, it's just not going to matter. It's not going to matter to some extent, right? And just understand your whole life is subject to change, right? The way you look at the world, how you look at your friends, who are your friends, what do you consider friendship and not friendship, even your interests, even your taste in music, your taste in movies, taste in TV shows. It's gonna change, right? That's the only constant in the universe is change. In fact, that's it. If not for change, you wouldn't have nighttime, you wouldn't have daytime, the earth wouldn't rotate on its orbit, on its axis, you wouldn't have seasons. That's a change, right? Hot, cold, change. Day, night, change, right? And so on. So the only constant in the universe is change. Therefore, just remember, whatever you're thinking right now, whatever you believe right now, whatever you value to your core right now, if you're in your 20s and below, just understand it's going to change. That's not a bad thing, okay? That's a good thing. That's called evolution, right? There's a saying, there's a quote, I think Benjamin Franklin quoted this. He said, if I recall correctly, a man who acts the same way at the age of 50 that he did at the age of 25 just wasted 25 years. Okay? Because nothing changed for him. Which I totally agree. I don't know how the hell a 50-year-old is supposed to be the same as a 25-year-old. There's no way you should be. There's no reason to. Okay? I'm 35 and I'm turning 36 soon. And so I am night and day different. In fact, here's a quick exercise. Time travel is real. You know how I know that? Close your eyes and just picture yourself at 10 years ago. Okay? Some memory you have. Do you remember it? Birthday event, party with your friends, graduation date. And I'm talking if you're in your 30s and above, for sure you have the 10 years to look back on, right? If you're in your 20s, it's not as easy to look back at the age of 15 or whatever, but whatever. I'm sure you could do it, right? So if you can think back to your younger self, okay, and remember you at the time and how you felt towards things. Like, I was extremely obsessed with the Dallas sports, especially Dallas Mavericks in the mid 2000s, right? When they went to the finals for the first time in 2006, I was crazy. But then they lost for a few years and didn't get back until 2011 when they actually won the championship. Go Mavericks! And that was like the most absolute memorable experience of my life up until that point. Because I was there, I saw it, and there's nothing I wanted more in the world than for them to win that. So, yeah. But now, it's been many years since, and I don't even look at sports the same. It used to be a full obsession. I mean, my life was sports, eat, sleep, sports, movies, that's it. I'm not joking. Ask my parents. I took journalism degree just for that, okay? Because I thought about, happiness versus like quality of life, etc. But we'll dive into that more later. So, but yeah, anyway, younger generation, just keep in mind, okay? Everything you think, everything you believe, and everything you value right now is subject to change as you get older. That's not bad. That is simply a sign of growth as a person and evolution as a human, which you're supposed to do. Okay? Because a 35-year-old and a 25-year-old should not be the same. And a 35-year-old and a 19-year-old should definitely not be the same, right? That doesn't make no sense. This person just graduated high school and going into college, and this person has been working for the past 12, 14 years, hopefully, right? So yeah, I wanted to give you that. Learning does not stop. Okay, learning does not stop. There's no such thing as I cannot learn anymore. It's absolutely complete BS. If anyone thinks that, I'm sorry. No such thing. You know how I know that? Was there iPhones in the 70s? Was there social media in the 80s? right? Was there Facebook in the 90s? No, absolutely not. Now, if you grew up in the 70s, 60s, etc., you have all of that in the 2020s, right? That's called, you learn how to use that. You learned all about it, and now here you are. So learning doesn't stop, right? And it never will. And so I highly advise everyone, but especially the younger generation, to keep learning, okay? Learn whatever inspires you. Learn things that motivate you. Learn things that capture your imagination, okay? And it should be things you're excited about, right? It should be things you're curious about. Knowledge is power, but not just knowledge. It's applied knowledge, right? You can learn about doing workouts and dieting all day, all night. But if you yourself don't apply that, then it's basically on ice, which is good as useless, right? So learning doesn't stop, and for me, it never stop until the day I die. And so, and today, you just happen to have the luxury of having access to more information than all of human history before this. Okay? Which means what? That means you have to learn how to filter information more. Okay? And if you're in the previous generations, shout out to you guys, everyone, X and above, Gen X and above. All you had access to was libraries when you were growing up, you know? And I mean, the internet just launched in the mid 90s, you know, and that was in a dial-up stage. It was slow and all that stuff, so it was barely took off at the time. But the only place you could learn stuff was libraries and bookstores. And I actually used to be a kid who loved going to the bookstore and picking out a nice book and reading. I would do that while my mom shopped, and then when she's done, she picked me up and we go home. I was always like that, curious, and now you have too much. You have, at the click of a button, it's never-ending information, never-ending bombarding of videos and audios and everything, and social media posts, and all just insane amount of information overload, right? So we're actually screwing ourselves with overloading our brain with information. That's never happened before until now, until this century. So now it's about filtering the information, okay? That means if you want to, if you so oblige, you can curate your social media experience to only show what you value. Okay, is it food? Is it food post cooking? Is it exercise, right? Is it fitness? Is it mindset? Is it travel destinations? Is it sports? Okay. Workout routines, whatever, right? So you have the ability to do that. You just have to do some work and unfollow pages and follow what you want and curate the social media to your liking. So, but yeah, younger generation, remember, you have more access to information than all of human history before this. I mean, no one, no military general from the World War II, no the greatest leaders of all time, Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great, whoever, and conquerors they are, but you see my point. They never had access to as much information as you do and as we do now. So take advantage of that, but don't let it overconsume. You have to filter. You have to learn how to filter and filter out the noise and only focus on what you want. So, all right, that is enough for today on this Spitball Sunday. Okay, I had a pleasure speaking with you guys. We got a birthday coming up, so that should be exciting. Yay. And so January is a great month, a nice cold winter time. To everyone who's experiencing super cold winters right now in the U.S., stay warm, and especially in Canada. God bless you, and stay safe out there. Protect your plants, protect your pipes, people, etc. And so, with that, if you like the value you received from this video, please hit the like button and comment below and let me know if you specifically what things that relate to you and what value you gained. And please share and subscribe to this channel for more. Share with any friends that you think will gain value. But with that, signing off. This is Mosh here, and just remember, just about a little perspective. Peace.